I'ma be honest with you right now. When it comes to discussing Sonic the Hedgehog, it's hard to really break new ground on anything really. Everything's been talked about to absolute death, to the absolute stretches of the imagination. You know, people have talked about the aesthetics, people have talked about the character models, people even talked about the different shoes Sonic wears. I didn't even know he wore that many shoes. But I think I found something that's yet to be discussed in a full video on YouTube yet. I could be wrong, let me know in the comments below. But I think no one's talked about this yet. And that's the Sonic logos. Yes, that's right, we've gotten to the point where we're discussing the Sonic logos. You know, for the most part, the actual logo of Sonic itself doesn't really change much throughout the series, at least when you get to the latter stages. It's more the accompanying subtitle that changes a lot, based on the aesthetic of the game and just how it is in general. So in this video, we're gonna go through all the mainline Sonic games, and we're gonna be ranking how cool I think each logo is, and how much I think it fits the aesthetic of the game. And if you end up enjoying this video, make sure you like and also leave a comment below. I want to hear your opinions on all these logos. Well, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Sonic 1, the classic 1991 release that started it all. To be honest, I really like the cartoony aspect of it. I like how it just really looks like a cartoon, which is basically what it is. It's pretty simple, it's pretty straight to the point. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's got the dark blue text with the orange outline and the little red the Hedgehog that like kind of goes in a wave. I like it. It's pretty simple, it's pretty cool, it's pretty general. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Alright, now next up, Sonic CD. Now it still has the same dark blue coloring on the inside and yellow outline on the outside, which, you know, it's cool. It's getting its iconography at this point, but the green on the CD, I don't know, something about it just kind of throws me off. Maybe it's just because I'm biased because I'm not that much of a CD fan, but I'm gonna give this one a 3. It's okay, it's not too bad, but it kind of loses the cartooniness. It's just kind of a little bit odd. Alright, next up, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and we're back again with the regular coloring, and the Hedgehog is back, the red the Hedgehog, and we got the 2 that fits right in there. It just looks natural, right at home. That's another classic one. It just builds on the classic. I'm gonna have to say that's another 4 out of 5. Now Sonic the Hedgehog 3, there's really not that much difference between 2 and 3. All they did was just swap out the 2 for a 3, and format is slightly different. So I'm gonna keep it a 4 out of 5. Still has that really good look, fits in well. And with that, we're gonna go straight to Sonic and Knuckles, which I think really works too. They have the red this time, obviously, for Knuckles because he's red. And honestly, there's not too much difference. These are all kind of the same thing. We don't have the Hedgehog anymore. But I don't think it's really necessary. And I think it's nice. I like how it is. I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 5 as well. Alright, well, now we head into the Adventure era. And the Sonic Adventure logo, it's pretty... nah. I don't know if I feel it that much. I get it's supposed to go with the sense of adventure. That's why it's all rocky. And like the text is very reflective of like the ocean. I see what they were going for. But I don't know. It kind of just loses something with me. I don't feel it as much. It is one of the more unique Sonic logos. But in a sense, I don't think it's as good as the originals. So I'm gonna bring it to a 3 out of 5. Now I do think I should mention the Sonic Adventure DX logo, which I'm also gonna put at 3 out of 5. It sucks because I do like this Sonic Adventure a lot more. This is where they start to bring in the iconic yellow coloring for the letters and the blue outline, which I think is really sleek. I really like it. As well as the adventure and white text on the blue background of that. I think it's really cool. But what kind of brings it back down again is the DX director's cut. Like, it just kind of comes in and kills the whole vibe. Like, it's just all this extra stuff on the side. Like, we don't really need all of it. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Sonic Adventure 2? Ooh, 5 out of 5. Clear 5 out of 5. The gradient on the Sonic Adventure text, the little stars that kind of signify that you're gonna be heading to space at some point. The blue from Sonic and the black and red from Shadow. And the 2 and the... ooh, nah, it's peak. Sonic Adventure 2 logo is peak, and the same goes for the battle logo too. Although it does kind of move the placements a little bit, I don't really care. This is a 5 out of 5 logo, come on now. Next up we have Sonic Heroes, and they do bring back the same thing that they had in the original Adventure logo, the little like ocean gradient over the text. But I think it actually really works really well in this one. It's a lot more shiny, The O1 Heroes has the Sonic logo, which I think is a neat touch, and then obviously the blue, red, and yellow circles, which are the type indicators for the game. Honestly, I think it's a 4 out of 5. I can't quite put my finger on what holds it back for me, but it is a really, really good design. I really do like it, but I don't think it's as good as the Adventure 2 logo. 4 out of 5. Alright, next we have the Sonic 06 logo. Now the context for this one, it being a remake, trying to rebrand Sonic, and for the aesthetic it was going for, I actually think it looks really nice. I think it gives that next gen feel of like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's sleek, it's to the point. You know, it's not cartoony, it's not goofing around, it's taking itself serious. You know, the blue to black gradient. It's really on point. It's a shame the game didn't really work out. But I will say, the one thing that kind of holds it back a little bit for me, it doesn't feel super Sonic-y, you know what I mean? Like Sonic takes itself serious, but it still kind of has its own flair to it, its own uniqueness to it. This logo seems a little bit standard. So for that, I'm gonna have to hold it to a 4 out of 5, but still, really good and does what it's trying to achieve, in my opinion. Next up is Sonic Unleashed, and this one is another one that really hits the mark on what it was trying to do. Obviously, you have the orange to yellow gradient on the Sonic text with the black outline. You've got the Unleashed in this bold, kind of rough text, and then the slash, the werehog slash across, ooh, it's iconic. 5 out of 5. Now as a side note, I do feel like I should mention the Sonic World Adventure logo since that's originally what it was called in Japan. I also like that logo. I like how it has the cracked earth and it focuses on the world adventure, but it doesn't really tell you anything about the werehog aspect. But since it's called World Adventure in Japan, I feel like it really gets that point across. So for what it's trying to do, I'ma also give it the same rating, 5 out of 5. Now, next up we have the Sonic Colors logo, which I think is pretty cool. You know, I see what they're going for. They've got all the different colors of the wisps in the word colors, which I think is a neat touch. We've got the Sonic logo with the yellow and the blue outline again with the little shining thing going on in the back. It's alright. It's alright. I think it gets the point across, but to look at, it doesn't really... it's okay. I give it a 3 out of 5. It's pretty standard, to be honest. Now next up is my current favorite Sonic game, Sonic Generations. And honestly, this one is a 5 out of 5. It really has that gold going on the text with the blue outline, which really just screams Sonic to me. And gold really screams like we should be celebrating this. Like, you know, the rings, you collect the rings, they're gold. It all just kind of works together to really give you that feel. Not to mention the pop art in the back, which was the whole aesthetic of their marketing for Sonic Generations. I think it just works really, really well. It kind of just screams 2010s to me. I don't know. I really like it. 5 out of 5. Next up, Sonic Lost World. And to be honest, it's kind of meh. Like, I get it. They're using the same gold with the Sonic, but it's not as shiny, it's not as out there, it's not as in your face. It's kind of a bit more subdued, a bit more cartoony, which reflects the tone they were going for in the game. It was a very cartoony type of game. And you can see that in the Lost World as well, all the different shapes and stuff they go for. But I don't know, I just don't feel this one that much. Like, it's not cartoony in the way that the original classics were. It's kind of in this like manufactured cartoony style. That's the best way I can kind of describe it. And I'm not as much of a fan of that. So for that, I have to give it a 3 out of 5. Pretty standard. Next up, Sonic Forces. And as much as I don't like this game, I also do not like the logo that much. I don't know, I see what they were going for, the whole industrial war vibe. But the Sonic is just so flat. I don't know, I don't like that. And Forces and the Forces is in like the most basic text that I'm pretty sure I could find in Photoshop or something. I don't know. The style kind of looks cool and the paintbrush strokes, but aside from that, I don't know. It's so very basic and standard. I have to give this one a 1 out of 5. I really don't like this one. Now with the penultimate game, Sonic Frontiers, I gotta give this one a 2. It's plain. It's all white. I see what they were going for. It fits the tone of the game, I can say that. You know, it's plain, it's white, it's bland. You know, they have the frontiers in the basic text. The only thing that saves it is the O and the little dashes of like cyberspace on it. But really, it doesn't really scream out to me like, yes, this is crazy. And honestly, I feel like the beta logo that they put out first was actually better. It had more personality to it. The one they actually came out with for the game, I don't know, it's just very, very standard. Which again, kind of fits the basis of the game, but they could have done a lot more with it. That's a 2 out of 5 for me. Now last but not least, we have the most recent game at the time of recording, Sonic X Shadow Generations. Does this count as a mainline game? I'm counting it as a mainline game. It's attached to a mainline game, so I'm counting it as a mainline game. Now I'm gonna rank this in 2 different ways. I'm gonna rank the full logo and I'm gonna rank just the Shadow Generations logo. Now with the full logo, Sonic X Shadow Generations, it's kind of just the Shadow logo slapped in the middle of Sonic Generations, although they did change the Generations to be more of a subtext to kind of allow the Shadow to be more prominent. And then they have the little X going on between them, which I think is a cool touch. But overall, it's kind of a lot in one. I see what they were trying to do, but I feel like it's just too much in one place, if I'm honest. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It's decent, it gets the point across. Sonic X Shadow, you see their 2 different vibes. The classic Sonic yet again with the yellow coloring and the blue on the outside, which I really like. And then you have Shadow, who has the red shade coloring. And then you have the black on the outside. And he has the Shadow logo as the O, which I think is really cool. But yeah, 3 out of 5 on that. And last but not least, if we just look at the Shadow Generations by itself, that already bumps it up to a 4 out of 5 for me. Obviously, all the points I talked about when I was talking about the Shadow logo apply here. It looks phenomenal. And then there's no Sonic convoluting it or making it a bit too much. You know, it's compact, it's everything it needs to be, and it all fits in the right place. And I really am a fan of this. 4 out of 5. The only thing that could have taken it to a 5 out of 5 is if they did something with the Generations text, like how in Sonic Generations, both the Sonic and the Generations are the same kind of format. If the Generations was also red inside, that would have worked really well for me. I would have really liked that. But yeah, that's my ranking and thoughts on all the mainline Sonic logos. If you want to see me do the spin-off logos or anything else, any of the ones that I missed, let me know in the comments below. And also let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with my ratings? Do you disagree? Overall, I think the logos are pretty good. They all pretty much get the point across. I didn't really hate many of them, apart from like the Forces one. But even still, even that one kind of gets his point across. So overall, they're doing pretty good. And if you like more content like this, you know what to do. Feed the like button a like. And let me know what you want to hear from me next. Alright guys, it's been your boy Breton, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!